Hello, good morning. It's Toby Morrison here from CFS Health. I've got my morning breakfast tea. I've got my fancy teapot. And I'm jumping on and going to share with you the 3 biggest challenges you're going to face in your recovery. It's a pretty damn important topic. And I can guarantee you wouldn't have been told this stuff before. Maybe one of them or 2 of them, but certainly not all 3. And so for all of you right now, by the end of this live, you're going to know the 3 biggest challenges you're going to face in your own recovery. And based off that, then you're going to basically get some awareness, tools and strategies and insights. So it doesn't have to be a problem and it doesn't have to be a challenge. If you're here live, let me know where you're tuning in from around the world. Hey, Lisa. Hey, I'm all sorts of me. Hey, Lara. Hey, Jen. Hey, Maggie, Jules, Lisa. Elaine Martin is in the house. Jackie Fitzgerald. Where are you guys tuning in from? Let us know. Hey. Mississippi, that's pretty cool. Hey, Rebecca from Germany. Hey, Smashing Blouses from BC, Canada. We've got Lincolnshire, UK. You'll be proud of me, I'm having an English breakfast tea today. Hey, Lauren. So yeah, let me know where you're tuning in from. You're in UK. We've got Ontario, Canada, of course. We've got Vancouver, Canada. One of the things that some of you might not realize is we've been helping people with chronic fatigue syndrome and associated illnesses for the last 15 years. And we now help people in 65 countries. It's pretty crazy. Someone from the Czech Republic literally just joined, I think, 3 days ago, and my team told me, and they're like, Toby, we're now helping people in 65 countries, not 64. And so I like to ask where you're from because, it's important to know that you're not the only one struggling, but also a problem shared is a problem halved. And once that happens, basically you can start to figure out a plan and move forwards. So, your diagnosis doesn't have to be your end destination. So let's talk about the 3 biggest challenges you're going to face in your recovery. I don't think anyone has ever said this to you, that this is the biggest one. And I certainly know from my experience anyway, I have never heard a doctor ever tell a patient this particular information. And we'll get a little bit more nuanced as we go. And just for reference, this is a live stream. I ain't going to be able to break it down for you step by step in however long we've got. Yeah. So as an example, inside our private paid mentorship program, there's over 50 hours worth of training, recovery training, categorized into every aspect of recovery. And we call it the Netflix of recovery. And so I just find it, I want to say that up front because I know there's going to be someone going, yeah, but Toby, tell me exactly how to do it right now. It's like, that's why we have a 6 to 12 month minimum program, right? Because we're going to break it down for you as you go through it. It's very nuanced. Number 1, your biggest challenge in your recovery is you. I'll say that again. Your number 1 challenge that is going to get in the way of your recovery is you. And it's not your fault. So if we think about it, when you were growing up, when you got sick, you were told that if you got sick, you go to the doctor gives you a pill, and you take it, and you get better. It doesn't work like that with recovery. And it sucks. I wished, I remember when I was going through this, I was like, just wanted a pill. Give me a freaking pill to take. I'll take it and I'll get better. It doesn't work like that, right? And so it's a harsh reality, but it's also really freeing once you can kind of realize that, because then you can get a plan and you can move forwards. Here's the deal. You are going to be your biggest challenge in your recovery. Why? Because what you're going through is extremely hard, right? Emotionally, cognitively, neurologically, physically. So already it's hard. Like it's you're not coming from an easy place, right? True or true? Just comment the word true in the chat if you're with me on this. Like it's not what you're going through is not easy. True or true? Let me know in the chat. Right? Yeah, Lisa, it's true. Hey, Donna. It's not easy what you're going through. And so it's kind of unfair, actually, because it's like you are the biggest challenge in your recovery, but you're starting from a hard place, right? And I'll explain to you why you're going to be your biggest challenge in your recovery. And this is just number one. There's a couple of others that are really important too. We need to address this first. You're already lacking energy. You've already got brain fog. You're already feeling fed up. You're already feeling frustrated. You're already beating yourself up and down, right? And so you're going to be your biggest challenge in your recovery. You need to be on the same page for your recovery with yourself. What do I mean by that? When you're trying to get better and you're not working with yourself, yeah, it's mental gymnastics, exactly. That's well said. When you're working towards your recovery and you're not working with yourself, meaning that you're not participating in your recovery for your recovery, well, you're kind of working against yourself, right? You probably have felt like this before where you're butting heads all the time. Have you ever felt like that? You wake up and you just fucking keep butting your head against yourself. And then you get upset that you're butting heads against yourself. And then you get upset with yourself even more. And so you double headbutt the wall. Anyone relate to this? Cat Bradley says, true. Maggie Sadler says, yeah, right? It's like, let's boom. Oh, yeah, I'm going to hit my head against the wall. Boom, I'm going to do that again. Oh, yeah? Oh, good one. You idiot. Oh, now I'm going to put you down even more, right? Don't worry. If that's you right now, it's okay. It's normal. It happens. It's normal and it happens, right? And so we need to just become aware of that. It's pure gold. Like, it's pure gold. If you can just become aware of that and be like, okay, if I just participate with myself, for myself, to where I want to go, that sounds like a much better journey than doing it any other way. Once you can get on the same page with yourself and stop beating yourself up and going around in circles and working against yourself. So I have a saying inside our private community and private program, it's either helping you or hindering you. And so the question you have to ask yourself is this helping me or is it hindering me? Lois, hello. I've got a couple of program members in here right now. Elaine's one of them as well. Welcome, guys. Great to see you here. Yeah. And so it's either helping you or hindering you. And so you have to answer that question regularly, particularly if you're doing this on your own, right? Recovery is not easy. And if you're doing this on your own, it's kind of like a nightmare, right? This is the whole reason why I started CFS Health over 15 years ago, because previously, over 2 decades ago, when I was going through this, it was hell. Like, there was no help. There was no Instagram. There was no Facebook. I don't even think YouTube was out then. And so you can imagine how dark that journey would have been doing it completely solo with no correspondence or understanding of what the hell to do, right? Now, thankfully, because of that suffering and pain, I created CFS Health, and we've created a roadmap and literally a step-by-step plan to get healthy and start living again, which is helping now in 65 countries, which is pretty damn cool. Hey, Lauren. Lauren says she's from Kansas and she just got diagnosed with CFS today. Well, I just want to let you know that your diagnosis isn't your end destination. So you've come at the perfect time, Lauren. God, to find our work on the day of your diagnosis is pretty freaking great if you ask me. Some people don't find us for 10 or 20 years and they go, oh my God, this makes so much sense. In fact, one of our head of client success and one of our coaches here, one of our expert coaches, when she got diagnosed, she found us 2 weeks later. And she's from America too. Lauren Giammarco, shout out to you. And Lauren jumped on a call with myself back then. This is a long time ago. I was taking the enrollment calls, and we had a chat. And I said, "How long have you been following CFS House for?" And she goes, "Oh, 1 week." And I said, "Really?" I said, "Wow, most people follow us for like 4 to 5 years first, and then they join later." She said, "Toby, I have tried everything. I finally got diagnosed by my doctor, and he said there's nothing you can do." And I laughed because we hear this all the time. And she said, I wasn't willing to accept that as my answer. And then I started Googling and Googling and Googling, and I came across you, and it made total sense. And so here I am, and I'm ready to go. I don't care how much it costs. I want to join. And she joined. I think it was like a 18-month journey, or maybe 15 months from like completely bedbound to like hiking mountains again. So it's pretty miraculous recovery if you ask me. And now she works at CFS Health helping other people get better. It's pretty cool. It's a cool story. I'll get her on. She'll be on the podcast soon, and you'll see her face quite a lot over the next period of time. Lauren Giammarco. If you go onto our YouTube channel and you scroll down and if you go CFS Health, Toby Morrison on YouTube, scroll down and there's her success stories there somewhere from like 2 years ago, or maybe a year ago, I can't remember. But yeah, now she works at CFS Health. It's pretty damn cool. So, number one, your diagnosis isn't your end destination. But number two, now we need to get on the same page with yourself. What is the self-responsibility? What does it look like to work with yourself versus against yourself? I'm pretty sure you know what working against yourself looks like, right? Because you've probably done it. Hey, Carrie. Yeah, you've probably done it. Yeah, what does it look like for you when you're going against yourself? Let me know in the chat so I can get some context, and this will help someone else who's reading and watching this too. So post below, what are you doing when you're against yourself, when you're working against yourself? What are you doing? Are you mentally beating yourself up? Are you pushing beyond your means? Are you pretending that you're not that you don't need help? Like, what is it for you? And yes, Lauren, we help people with POTS as well, and yeah, absolutely. We see people with POTS, chronic fatigue syndrome, long COVID, fibromyalgia, and post-viral fatigue. They're the kind of top 5. And all we do is help people get healthy and start living again. So all those people with those diagnoses can do that. So what is it for you? Elaine Martin says, CFS Health is so helpful for all chronic conditions. Thanks, Elaine. I have loved watching your journey unfold and see you progress so much in the last, I think it's almost 12 months now. It's been amazing. Here we go. So Kim says, my brain fog, 100% worse than most, struggling to understand words. Yeah, but tell me, are you beating yourself up when you're not at your best? Like, what are you doing? Paper Tiger says, no self-compassion, beating myself up, frozen or pushing too hard. Yeah, Vintage Girly says, stress has a lot to do with my illness. Absolutely. You can't heal from the environment that made you sick. I'll say that again. You can't heal from the environment that made you sick. So if you're still in stress mode, but the stress mode is what got you unwell in the first place, then it doesn't matter what you do, you're not going to get better. Oh my God, I love this tea. It's from TWG I got it from Singapore. And it's, I think you say it's Ceylon tea, but it's pure. A little bit of raw organic honey, and we're good. Overstretching my energies, Maggie says. Yep. That's where consistency and baseline come into play. Okay, Lauren says, tried working out so hard to get some function back, and now I'm sore and burnt out and have been down for days. Cool. We literally have a program for you, Lauren. Like, we have a movement mastery program that's inside our flagship program. We will give you the appropriate training program that you can do with where you're at right now. Not wait until you get better, because waiting to get better won't work. But you can't keep doing stuff that's not appropriate for you. And that's what's tripping you up, and trips hundreds of thousands of people up. It's hard to watch when I know that, you know, we've got a fix for that. And then they finally find, oh my God, this is amazing. Uganda says, I'm confused if CFS and fibro is toxins or mental trauma. What if it didn't matter what it was? Right? And I mean this with love, and take this with a grain of salt, because sometimes it can matter what causes it, but at the same time, we don't treat illness here at CFS Health. We help people just get healthy and start living again. As your health increases, your illness goes down. As your health increases, your symptoms go down. And so a lot of people get stuck trying to figure out what the cause is, right? And if we go deeper than that, the cause is ultimately your brain and your body shutting down because it can't handle the load that it's been given. It can't adapt to the stimulus and the environment that it is in, whether it is toxins, whether it is trauma, whether it is overtraining, whether it is pushing yourself beyond means, whether it is stress. Does that make sense, guys? Let me know in the chat. Just type in the word sense if you're with me on this. Hey, Tims. Hey, Jazzy. Does this make sense? Now, we have a step-by-step recovery program, so we do everything. We don't do one thing. We're the most comprehensive online program there is. So we help you with your sleep, your nutrition, your restorative movement. We help you rebuild your strength and stamina appropriately for where you're at. But then we help you integrate into life as well. Recovery is a process, and there is a method behind that to do it. I still need help, but hard to get it. Interesting. Is it that hard to get it? I don't know. There's a lot of great help in the world. Rebecca, we've got an old member here who I worked with years ago. Becca the Blondie. Great to see your face here. Type in the word sense if this is landing for you. If this makes sense. Yeah? Let me know in the chat. Are we good? Yeah. Dude, this is crazy. The most people we help in the world right now is in UK. I think 40% of our members are from UK. 30% are in America. And then like across Canada and all that. And then Australia, obviously New Zealand, Asia, and then all of Europe. So Germany, like Norway, all that. They're sleeping right now while I'm doing this live. So they miss out on the live stream today. But yeah, we help people in 64 countries. But here's the problem. The doctor can't help you, right? Because your doctor doesn't have 50 hours or even more to give you the practical advice needed for recovery. They've got 15 minutes, maybe 30 or 45 at max. You can't get a plan in 30 minutes. I feel sorry for doctors. Not all of them. Some of them need a word to, because they say some very mean, nasty things to you. But some doctors just don't have the time and haven't been taught the practical tools and frameworks to help people with recovery. Hey, if you're in UK and you're awake, it's okay. Don't worry. It's a thing. When you're going through recovery, your sleep can be out of whack. So we'd help you fix that too. So, you know, it's funny, my neighbours are doctors. I really like this dude. He's a cool guy. But, you know, he's just busy. He doesn't have time to learn about chronic fatigue syndrome as well. And so doctors are great. Yeah. Oh, my God. Maddie Young's in the house. Maddie was like one of my first 100 clients ever, almost 15 years ago. That's wild, dude. So good to see you. I remember you bench pressing like so much weight when you were getting better. So don't expect your doctor to get you better. That's unfair on them, but it's also not doing you a good service too. Remember what I said, you have to participate in your recovery, right? You have to participate in your recovery. Hey, Maddie. And Maddie knows this. All the OGs, all these people who are jumping on live who have worked with me or in our program, they know this because they're experiencing it, right? They've experienced improving their health. They've experienced participating in their recovery and getting a result. So the results that you're getting in your life are literally just a reflection of your actions and behaviors and knowledge or lack of knowledge right now. If you think about that, it's kind of true, right? Like your results in your life are just based off your actions, insights, and behaviors that you're doing that are either producing the result you want or not producing the result that you want. Now, I'm not saying this is a mind over matter thing, because it's not. What you are going through is 100% real. It's 100% neurological, and it affects every aspect of you. Does it or does it not? We have an up-level program. So once people start getting better, they literally go into a different program called lifestyle integration. They have to integrate back into life, right? And that's a sure sign that you're on your way. Pretty cool. So number one, who's the biggest challenge? Type it in the chat. We're going to move to number two in a moment. But hopefully you're picking up what I'm putting down, and it's super, super useful. Yeah. Number one, you are going to be your biggest challenge in your recovery. You need to participate in your recovery. You need to participate with yourself on the direction of where you want to go. Kim, I can't message you any info, but you can send a message to my team and ask for help, and we can get you a call to see if we can help you. Yeah, exactly. All right, number two, let's go into it. So the second biggest challenge that you're going to have in your recovery is, again, something that very, very, very rarely talked about, which is creating stabilization. You think about, I'm assuming a lot of you who are watching don't have, aren't working on your recovery properly. You think you are, but you don't actually have a plan. You don't have anything stable, right? You've got no stability in your recovery. You don't have any stability in your life. And that's a problem, right? That's a really big problem, but you don't realize it's a problem. And so number two is you need stability to create progress. You can't make progress without stability. If you think about it, I've got this really great teapot. I love it. I just got it the other day, and so I'm pretty happy with it. See these like three legs? How cool is that? It's like, you can see the trees in the background. That's how shiny this thing is. But see these three legs? This is what creates a foundation and stability, right? Now, without these three legs, if I put this on the table here, it's going to fall over. Like, it'll literally just fall over like that. And recovery is kind of the same. If you don't have a foundation, if you don't have stability, it's kind of why you're falling over all the time. And I don't mean physically, and some of you maybe are physically, but metaphorically, that's why you're kind of not moving forwards. So you must create stability before you make progress, and then, all of that stems down to having your baseline, like getting your correct baseline, which basically enables you to stop pushing and crashing, create stability so you can make progress. We do have a free training on that. It's something that I'm really proud of. It's something that 20 years ago I would have paid $1,000 for, and it's free for you. So if you just type in cfshealth.com/baseline, you'll be able to download that free training. Yeah, got it? So create your baseline. It's the first thing we work on with all our members when they work with us. The first 2 months with their coach, they get help sorting out their baseline. So to recap, number one is not integration. What I was talking about before is integrating into life is the last step of recovery, and we have a program that as our members get better, they move into that program because they don't need to focus on recovery anymore. They need to focus on life and integrating into life. So number one is your biggest challenge is going to be you. You need to be on the same page as yourself. You need to work with yourself, and you need to participate in your recovery. Right? Never met anyone out of thousands of people get better from not participating in their recovery. Number two, you got to create stability. Can you guess what number three is? What do you think the third biggest challenge is when it comes to your recovery? Pop it in the chat right now. Consistency, says Elaine. Mindset. What else? You win a prize if you guess it right. Only if you haven't listened to a talk like this before. Ooh, consistency's coming in strong. I mean, all of this will help. Kathy says patience with myself. That's definitely going to be useful. One of our mindset coaches, Gemma Hanley, she says patience is the fastest way to recovery. Some people try and rush things, and if you think about it, nothing really great comes from rushing. Okay, number three is kind of close, but you kind of don't have the answer yet. The answer is you got to play the long game. And I'll say that again. You have to play the long game. So if you think about this, there's the short term and then there's the long term. Now, most people, before they work with us, they're looking for short term answers, right? They're literally just looking for short term answers. You're paying $1,000 for a quick 15-day detox. You're trying a bunch of supplements, hoping that it'll turn things around within a week. You're trying all these weird, wacky things that are promising the world but don't deliver the results. And you're wondering why you're not getting anywhere. Well, it's because you're playing the short game. You're playing the short term, and you can often overestimate what you can do in a short period of time, but you often underestimate what you can create in a long period of time. You have to play the long game. So when you see, like, if you were in our lifestyle integration program right now, and we've got, hundreds of people in there, you'll see something really common. Now, these people who are getting better, they're not focusing on their recovery as much anymore. They're focusing on their life. You'll see that they're not looking for any short-term fixes. They're literally just they're just exploring life and literally moving forwards to where they want to go. There's no time limit. They're not putting themselves against the clock. And they're literally just moving forwards. That's all they're focusing on. And if you compare them to someone who's on Instagram, and maybe you could relate to this, you don't have any help, you don't have a plan, and so you're literally just all your brain and your mindset, and again, it's not your fault. The culture has taught us to be like this, which is kind of fucked, if you ask me. The culture has said, you've got to fix it right now. Have you ever considered that there's maybe a message in the mess that you're going through right now? Maybe there's some lessons that you need to learn that would be useful. And so it's two big stretches of spectrum right here. We've got, on the one hand, it's very short-term focused. We can't see far ahead of ourselves. We can't see the path forwards. We're just looking down. And then there's the long term where we can see the road ahead, right? And we can see where we're headed, where we want to go. And we're moving towards that appropriately based off where we're at. Now, we help people who are completely bedbound, but we also help people who are semi-functional, right? Where you're at doesn't matter. What you do with where you're at matters. That's all that matters, right? Yeah. You gotta play the long game. And, you know, recovery doesn't... Hey! Mrs. David's in the house. This is one of our members too. Great to see you. You have to understand this. Recovery doesn't happen overnight. Nothing great happens overnight. And let me show you if I can spin my camera around. Let's have a look. Okay, I think we can do this. Yeah, you see this tree? This tree, and all these beautiful palm trees, they did not grow overnight. They didn't look this beautiful overnight. Right? Years of work for these trees to look as beautiful as they do now. Some shorter than others, but you get the point. And so I'm not saying that it's going to be super long. It doesn't have to be forever. It doesn't have to be super long, but it's certainly not going to happen overnight, and nothing great happens overnight. And so I want you to, you know, I'm going to ask you, what would happen if you just stopped looking for the short-term quick fixes and you just actually focused on building a solid foundation and actually working towards your recovery properly, fully committed for a longer period of time? What would happen? How would you feel in your body if you just like stopped the fast tracking search stuff and you just calmed yourself down and you focused on where you want to go and what you want to do? Tina says there's so many different views on how to live and manage chronic fatigue syndrome. It's overwhelming. It is. There's a lot of people pushing a lot of crap out there too. One thing I'll just invite you to consider is, what if you didn't have to manage your illness? We're not a management illness program. We're a health and life program. So we don't help people manage their illnesses. We just help people get healthy and start living again, so they don't even have to manage their illness. So I'd just like to share that with you to maybe see how that feels and try it on. Because what you're going through is hard enough, and managing, believing that you have to manage that for the rest of your life is kind of like a full-time job. And it's okay if you know, some people do just manage their illness, and that's okay too. Whatever works best for you, whatever feels good for you. Yeah, exactly. Less stressed. And I'll also share one other thing with you, Tina, and for everyone else, because I think there's a lot of you on here which would benefit from this, is, you know, you're right. There is a lot of crap on the internet. There's a lot of pretendness going on where, you know, oh God, I know one particular person, I'm not going to say their name. They actually did our program and got better. They did a success story as well, which is pretty funny. But I've heard from other people that this person is saying, you need to do my program to get better. And that is a total crock of bullshit. Don't ever let anyone, whether they're a doctor, you know, someone in the online space, tell you that you have to join or pay for something to get better, right? Now, getting the right help and paying for the right help can literally take you leaps and bounds towards where you want to go faster. That's true, right? Our clients say it all the time. Like, so many members say, oh my God, I wish I joined this 5 years ago. Otherwise, I'd still be going around in circles. Because, like I said at the start of this live, what you're going through is extremely challenging. It's challenging you on a neurological, physical level, but it's also challenging you on a spiritual level. It's challenging you from an emotional, cognitive level, as well as all this physical stuff. So there's like a primary pain, and then there's a secondary pain too. Like there's a secondary suffering on top of the initial painful experience you're going through. And so it's quite a challenging navigation to go through on your own. And again, that's why I started CFS Health over almost 2 decades ago, because it's what I wish I had when I was going through it. So, yeah, that's why I'm sharing that with you. But to your point, you know, there is a lot of information out there, but you're allowed to have a bullshit detector. right? You're allowed to go, you know what, that person, it doesn't feel right. There's something in my gut that's saying this person is a bit off, their intentions aren't pure. You know, really what you want to look out for is who do you want to become like? And, you know, you kind of want to, just, I mean, I've got great mentors and coaches in my life that I pay for in all different aspects of life. And I'm not buying their program, I'm buying their energy. And what I mean by that is I'm actually looking, well, who's got the results that I want and how can I learn from them? That's really what I'm doing when I'm looking to work with someone or buy something, right? Does it make sense? Does it align? Is their intentions pure? And do I want more of what they have? That's how I make decisions anyway. And so I hope that serves you, Tina, from kind of shifting out through all the crap on the internet, because there is so much bullshit out there. And so one of my jobs now, you know, been doing this for a long time. We've helped thousands of people in over 65 countries now. One of my jobs now, as a seasoned veteran, 15 years into this, is to dispel that bullshit and to really come on and share a very clear message, because there's not many people doing that, and it's just important. Like, it's important to me. And so, you know, I hope you feel that and you understand, you know, you go, yeah, well, he is kind of being honest and truthful, because I think that's the most important thing. That is what living in integrity looks like. And so, yeah, super proud. I got the best team in the world, by the way. We've got so many team members. We've got heaps of amazing momentum coaches. We've got expert coaches. We've got an amazing admin team. Amazing general manager, and one of our number one value is integrity. It's at the top of the list on our whiteboard even, and yeah, it's pretty cool. And we get to see people start to do that in their own lives as they start to work with us and, you know, get better. So number 3, play the long game. Remember, nothing great happens overnight. If this was helpful, I'd love you to go on the post once this gets published in about 5-10 seconds. Give it a love heart and type below, what was your biggest takeaway from this session? Hey, Teresa, what was your biggest takeaway from this session? I'd love you to do that once this is posted in about for 30 seconds. The second thing is, if you want help with your recovery, if all of this is making sense and you're like, you know what, I just need help and I'd like help from this guy and his team, there's a few members here right now. If you're a member, share the love and say what you want to say about working. Share what you want about CFS Health if you're a member. Elaine, I know you are. Awesome. Lisa, I'm so glad this makes sense. You look so lovely. I can see your smile on your profile picture. So second, if you want help and you want a step-by-step plan, like thousands of other people in over 65 countries now, I'm pretty sure we're helping people in your country. All you need to do is just send the word recover in a DM, and either my team will start talking to you and they'll ask you a couple of questions, or you'll get a training sent to you, which then you'll be able to put it through an application. If you want to fast track that, just go up to the link in the bio and find the application form and just put through your application. The faster you do it, the faster we can get you in. I think there's a 3-week delay because we're booked out of with people booking in. So the sooner you put your application through, the sooner the team can reach out to you and get you booked in for a recovery chat on what it would look like to get a plan, basically. Yeah. Okay, David says, brilliant program and community. I agree. We've got the best community in the world. Sending lots of love. I hope this was really, really helpful, and we'll see you all soon. Bye for now.